Welcome to 5 and 5 from One Stop Co-op Shop, where I discuss 5 key design decisions about a game in about 5 minutes. I'm Michael Kelly, and I am so tired. Marvel Champions came yesterday, and I played it until way too late last night, went to work today, and now I filmed a playthrough, and I'm just filming the review, and yeah, it's a lot. I mean, really, what more is there to say? It's Marvel Champions, you've all been waiting for it. How is it? Let's find out. Number 5 is a pro, and that is how the game handles cooperation between players. So first of all, great thing, I love it. Even though you have players going in a certain order, you can have other players interrupt their turn to do actions. You can basically slot in actions in each other's turns whenever you want. And then also, every hero can defend other players. Every hero can attack enemies in front of other players. It's kind of like in Lord of the Rings if you had Sentinel and Ranged on all your characters. And a ton of the cards give resources or card draw or defensive abilities to other players. So there's just so much you can do to help each other out. Really great cooperative experience here. Number 4 is also a pro, and that's the heroes themselves and how unique they are. So first of all, I love that the heroes have their unique deck of 15 cards. Almost half of your deck is going to be clearly defined by your hero and give them a different flavor and flair each game. And these heroes are very different. Like Iron Man barely gets any cards at all when he's on his Iron Man side until he builds up this crazy slew of upgrades. Captain Marvel can build up energy and blast people to smithereens in 10 seconds. And then additionally, I love how they've expanded on the Arkham horror idea of having a weakness. Here, every player's got an obligation that goes into the enemy deck, so no more drawing a card from your own deck and feeling bad about it, which I never really liked with weaknesses. And then also, even wilder, every player has a nemesis deck, these 5 cards that can come into play that bring up one of your old enemies and kind of mess up what you're doing. They don't come in and play all the time, but just the fact that they exist is exciting to me. Number 3 is another pro, but it's not going to be a pro for everyone, and that's how you construct decks in the game. So here's the thing, this is super streamlined deck construction, and for me, I love that. I want this game to be accessible. I want to be able to have my son or my wife play it with me and build decks easily. You take your 15 hero cards, you pick one color, one aspect, one class basically, and you can pick cards from there, and you get neutral cards. You don't even have the Arkham horror stuff where you're splashing in a second class or a few cards from some other group. Now for the die-hard Lord of the Rings players, I don't think this is going to be enough deck building necessarily to get them excited, but for someone like me, where deck construction is not the main thing and I really want to play the game, it's awesome. But enough about the heroes, how about those villains? Somehow they made it all the way down to number 2. Specifically, I love how customizable they are and how you can adjust your play experience and your difficulty very, very simply. Each villain, again, has their own unique deck, very specific things they do, very specific flavor. But then on top of that, you get to add this little modular deck to them. It's kind of like if you're playing Sentinels of the Multiverse, they combined the environment and the villain into one deck. It's smooth, it's fun, it lets you adjust the difficulty. You can also fight harder or easier versions of the villains. It's just such, again, a streamlined system that makes everything feel very different but lets you craft the exact experience you want. Alright, so that's 4 pros in a row. We know that number 1's got to be a mix or a con, right? No, because it's Marvel Champions and it's amazing! Number 1, without a doubt, are the puzzly turns. You've got your cards in hand, 6 cards, 5 cards, but you pay for the cards you want to play with the other cards in your hand. So every single turn you've got this fun little puzzle of what do I want to use, how do I want to use it, and you know you're getting bunches of cards at the end of the turn anyway, so you might as well go all out and find the best combos possible. But then add on, I didn't mention it yet, everyone's got a hero side and an alter ego side, and the alter ego lets you heal, but then the enemy might attack, so you have to decide which side you want to end on. Ooh, the alter ego lets you draw more cards, giving you a better turn next time, but the enemy's gonna smash the city apart while you're resting and drinking your aunt's soup. What are you gonna do? So my overall thoughts, it's pretty good. It's really, really good. Now, I don't want you to think that this is a perfect game, that there's nothing wrong. I do have a pretty good list of negatives, but the thing is, none of them were big enough to make it onto my list of 5, and I didn't want to cheat just to have a con on here. This is 5 pros at the top, definitely. But let's go through the negatives. Number 1, the game doesn't escalate as well as I like. Also, I do think that the core is a little bit overpriced, but I think almost everything from Fantasy Flight in terms of LCGs is a little bit overpriced. Another thing is that while you can mix and match the types types of decks, the actual deck building within the game is pretty limited right now. And then finally, one final negative specific for solo play with one hero, because you can play that way. It's great, it's fast, but man can it be swingy. Because you don't have the other player to kind of mess with you and take hits for you and defend you, I had like 3 games in a row where Spider-Man got killed by Rhino in a single turn, even though I had full life. But overall, do I recommend this? Oh my god, yes. It's so great. If you like tactical card play, if you like superheroes, if you like Sentinels of the Multiverse, if you like Lord of the Rings, if you like Arkham Horror LCG, I think you're gonna love this game. Yes, it's gonna be a money sink. Realize that you're gonna get poor with this game, but it's an amazing experience. I'm really impressed by it. I think the design is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna edit and go to bed, but good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.